Good evening, and thanks for joining us. My name is Lauren Abbas, and I'm the Leaders Speak Series Coordinator. Our guest tonight is Oskaloosa Hy-Vee Director Clete Hjorth, who will be presenting HyVee Working Towards a Sustainable Future. Clete has worked with HyVee and for HyVee for 21 years and will be sharing the corporation's goal of continuing their proactive approach to preserving the environment. Will you please help me join Clete to the stage?
Thanks. Well, good evening, everybody. As Lauren said, I'm Clete. I'm the store director at the Hy-Vee, and I've been fortunate enough to work at HyVee for 21 years. So I began my career in Norfolk, Nebraska as a 16-year-old kid bagging groceries and working the drive-up lane. And so I guess if you would have asked me back then if I would have been in Oskaloosa, Iowa, doing a presentation on HyVee sustainability, I probably would have said, "Where's that?" and "What's that?" So. But over the years, this is the 7th store I've worked at. I've bounced back and forth between Iowa and Nebraska, and I guess I've been very fortunate to grow with a company. And I guess one of the reasons I've chosen the company is its proactive approach to going to business. And one of those ways we're being proactive is through some of the sustainability efforts I'm going to visit with you a little bit about tonight. So first up, I want to talk about our seafood programs. HyVee has a formal seafood procurement policy. This began several years ago with recognition that certain species of fish are over-harvested and overfished, and also done so in a means that is damaging to the ecosystem and the environment. So out of this formal policy, our sustainable seafood program. The priority behind this is having safety and quality and freshness in our seafood for our customers. HyVee will never knowingly purchase seafood from suppliers that will, will never knowingly buy or sell seafood that's been harvested, transported, or handled in a legal way, and will also only do business with our suppliers that maintain the standard. So the Responsible Choice label is a means of letting our consumers know that the seafood that they're buying with that label has been harvested in a sustainable way. So in order for an item to earn that label and be called Responsible Choice, it needs to be harvested from a fishery or harvested in a means from a fishery or a farm where it's been rated as green or yellow by the Monterey Bay Aquarium, or is also produced in a way that is working towards sustainability with a time-bound limitation on those efforts. So what that means is that there are suppliers out there that are going to say, yeah, we're working on our sustainability programs and we're getting around to it. By putting a timeline to it and a specific deadline on the development of their programs, it encourages them to move forward in a timely fashion. If there's a supplier that says that they're going to meet that specific criteria and that deadline, will continue to purchase from that supplier. But if they fail to hold up their end of the bargain and meet the goals that they've set for themselves and we've agreed upon with them, we'll discontinue purchasing seafood from that supplier. So over the past few years, that has created some hard feelings with some of our suppliers for obvious reasons. For many suppliers, we might be their largest customer. But at the same time, with our position as the largest customer for those suppliers, it certainly motivates them to work towards their sustainability goals and targets that they normally may not have strived to achieve without a partnership with a company like HyVee. We're currently in our 4th year of the Responsible Choice program, and in 2017 we've hit some pretty significant milestones. So in just 4 short years in our seafood departments, all of the seafood that is fresh and frozen sold in our seafood departments now carries the Responsible Choice logo. In addition to that, this year we introduced Responsible Choice shelf-stable tuna. Tuna is kind of a species of fish that gets a lot of headlines, and I think we can all remember many years ago when we talked about dolphin-safe tuna. It's really an industry that gets a lot of attention. By introducing this first canned tuna with the Responsible Choice label, it started us down our path where during 2018 the goal is to have all of our canned tuna carrying the Responsible Choice logo. In addition to this, this year, we've managed to get to the point with our fresh seafood that we produce within our stores 7 days a week to also all carry the Responsible Choice logo. We were the first retailer in the country to maintain that level of sustainability with the seafood that we source for our sushi program. We also introduced Fair Trade certified fresh and frozen scallops, and we were also the first retailer in the country to offer 100% fair trade fresh tuna in our seafood departments. So fair trade is a means of taking sustainability to an extra level. In order to earn the fair trade logo that we have on our tuna, it has to go through a rigorous certification process. So fair trade goes beyond the environmental impact of that product and how it is sourced, and it goes into the roots of the community where that product is harvested from and where the people who provide that labor live. So beyond the environmental stewardships, the certification ensures that those workers get a fair pay for the work that they do. It also ensures that they get a fair price for that product. They also participate in programs that improve the working conditions in which they operate so that they're better than that of products that don't carry the fair trade label, and that the working environments in which they operate are also still continually growing and improving. In addition to ensuring a fair market price and fair pay for their work, a small premium is paid above and beyond that revenue stream. So that extra premium does not go to that fisherman or that fisherwoman. It actually goes into the community, and it goes towards programs within that community that the community feels that is important to them. So a couple of examples where that premium gets invested in the community. It could be for healthcare, it could be for providing fresh water in that community, it can be education for their children, so that way they can be better prepared to strengthen their communities as they grow into adults. We've also received some recognition recently. So in 2017, our new tuna program that we had launched was rated in the top 5 in Greenpeace's Tuna Shopping Guide. In addition to that, in 2015, Greenpeace did their Carting Away the Ocean study. And in that study, what it did is it ranked the 25 largest food retailers in the United States, and it rated their seafood programs based on sustainability, and HyVee was able to come out number 3 out of the 25 largest seafood grocers in the United States. The next program I want to visit with you a little bit this evening about is our one-step program. So the mission of our one-step program is to offer our customers a selection of everyday products and donate a portion of the proceeds from those products to relevant, worthy causes. So first we have our one-step cereal. So this is a shredded wheat cereal. The box is made of 100% recycled materials. So a portion of the proceeds from the sale of every box of the cereal goes to Meals from the Heartland, and that's actually a Des Moines-based company that works to help feed the hungry in Iowa, the United States, and around the world. To date, through the one-step program, HyVee's been able to donate $61,000 to Meals from the Heartland and help provide over 364,000 people who are suffering from hunger locally and globally. In addition, we were in the process of adding to our one-step program for the cereal. So presently, right now, it's just shredded wheat. And I'll be honest with you, I don't eat a lot of shredded wheat. I probably should. But throughout the course of this year, we're going to be expanding the one-step cereal program to all of our HyVee brand box cereals. So that way, guys like me who like their Marshmallow Treasures and things like that, I can get a box of cereal that I like, and then also know that it's going to a worthy cause. Our next program is our one-step water program. So presently, 1 in 6 people around the world lack access to safe drinking water, and 1 in 3 in the world lack adequate sanitation in the communities in which they reside. So for this program, we partnered with Rotary International. And what this program does is it develops wells in areas that are in need, either through sanitation and through a lack of access. So through our partnership with Rotary International, we've been able to so far develop 39 well projects in South Africa, South Sudan, Lebanon, Tanzania, Nigeria, Haiti, Kenya, and Chad. Our third program, and a third piece of the one-step program, is our one-step paper towels, napkins, and facial tissue. So this program goes towards the planting of trees. Trees do a lot for us. They obviously provide oxygen and food, but there's also other things that we maybe kind of take for granted with them in terms of, like I'd mentioned, clean energy or clean air, but energy cost reduction, wildlife habitats, and erosion control. So our largest project to date has occurred in the Wilson Island State Recreation Area. So this is the area north of Council Bluffs that suffered a lot of damage from several years ago when the Missouri River spent the entire summer over its banks. The species of trees native to that area just weren't able to resist being underwater for that extended period of time. And in that region alone, HyVee so far has helped plant 114,000 trees in that recreation area. So as I was doing my research for this, I actually had to email to the office and say, is that right? Is that a typo? And they assured me, yes, just in that one state park, 114,000 trees. In addition to that very large project, we also work with the Arbor Day Foundation to plant trees in local neighborhoods, parks, and public areas as well. And the last portion of our one-step program is our one-step russet potatoes. So this is a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes. It's one of the best-selling items that we have in our produce departments, staple in many households. And I guess that's kind of one of the nice things about this program is it's actually products that are highly consumable, so that way it does generate significant revenue. But the one-step potatoes, the proceeds help fund community gardens that teach those in need about health and nutrition through participating in planting, tending to, and harvesting their own vegetables and fruits. In order to receive this money, these local gardens need to apply for grants, and what the grant money is used for is its seeds, plants, supplies, and then upgrades to the garden. So far, since the inception of this program, HyVee's been able to donate $665,000 to local community gardens. And I really like this one a lot because we've actually been able to take advantage of this one locally. In the last 5 years, each of the last 5 years, we've been able to donate $1,000 locally here to the New Hope Community Garden to help families right here in Oskaloosa. Next, we have our food diversion program. So for many years, HyVee has always seeked to not waste food that maybe isn't saleable, but is still certainly consumable. So we very actively take those items and donate them to local food pantries. Just last fiscal year, 19 million pounds of food from our stores has gone to local food pantries where it can be distributed to the needy. But aside from those products, we also generate unusable food products in our daily process of preparation, whether it may be in our meat departments, in our produce departments, and in our kitchens. So what we do is incorporate this food recycling into the workflow of our employees. And in our departments, we have specified buckets where through their process of whether it's trimming vegetables or preparing in the kitchen or trimming meat, the unusable food scraps go into these buckets and they're placed in receptacles outside our stores. We partner with recycling companies where they're picked up on either a weekly or bi-weekly basis and taken to recycling centers. So last year, 17.8 million pounds was collected from these receptacles outside of our stores. Of that 17.8 million pounds of food waste, 11 million pounds, or 62%, was turned into compost. And the neat thing about this compost program is we actually repurchase the compost from the recyclers and we sell it in our garden centers. So that way people can use it in their local garden. So it kind of completes the full circle of that food waste. Beyond the 11 million pounds that gets composted, 2.5 million pounds, or 14%, gets turned into biofuels, and 5%, or around 1 million pounds, gets turned into animal feed. So of the 17.8 million pounds, 81% of that waste that would have normally in the past gone into a landfill got converted into items that could be usable again. And our next program is it's the Misfits. So Each year, 6 billion pounds of produce goes either unharvested or unshipped because it's not cosmetically appealing. So we all have an idea when we go to the grocery store and we're buying a green pepper. You know, we're writing green pepper or red pepper on our list. We're not picturing that one, okay? So we've all been conditioned over the years to know what we want and what we look for. But the simple fact is, if you're going to have a red pepper and you're going to chop it up and put it in a salad or put it in a soup or something like that, this one here is every bit as good. It's going to taste good, and once you cook it, you're never going to know that it maybe had a little bit of a wonky shape to it. So in 2017, we partnered with a company called Robinson Fresh to launch this Misfits program. And what it does is we're able to acquire this produce at a lower cost than the products that are more cosmetically appealing. And then that also it helps eliminate some of the waste from our agriculture industries. So in this program, about 4 to 6 items are delivered to stores each week. It kind of varies on what items are available based on the present season and what's being harvested at that time. But some of those items may include like peppers, cucumbers, squash, apples, very commonly used and consumed items. Since the inception of this program, 1.85 million pounds of produce has been sold through our stores that normally would have been left in a field, tilled back under, or not shipped, or maybe even thrown away. So those are just kind of a handful of the sustainability efforts that we have going on with our store. They're all, with our store and with our company, they're all programs that I'm very proud of, and I guess, like I had mentioned at the beginning, are all reasons why I'm very proud to work for a company like HyVee, where we can continue to participate in initiatives like this and help maintain a good food supply for our customers and for many generations to come. So with that, does anybody have any questions? Go ahead, Dave.
You mentioned that you've been at this now for about 4 years. Okay, I'll talk softer into the microphone. You mentioned that you've been at this now for about 4 years. Were there any pressures that were brought to bear on HyVee, or was there any triggering events that caused us to say, yes, we're going to make this an initiative?
Well, I think in any business, many initiatives are market-driven. And what we found is, especially amongst younger consumers, is that when they're choosing companies to do business with, they look for more of a relationship with that company, and sustainability is top of mind for many people. And so they look to partner and exchange their dollars for goods with companies that they would share a common belief with, and so sustainability is very important to many consumers, and so that was certainly an important part of our decision to begin many of these programs. Okay. We do. We're in between some right now, and so, but yes, it's a program that we do participate in. Yes, we do. I don't have any specific that I can address right now, but we do. We have our homegrown programs, and really for many years, I think the big corn, where we in the summertime procure sweet corn through our local growers, and there are things that we're working on and trying to get more locally grown produce, because actually a significant portion of the food cost in produce is derived from the transportation expense of shipping it across the country. Certainly bycatch is one of the biggest issues with it, but in general as well as overfishing of the certain species. Different species of fish reproduce at different rates, and that can be and some of the biggest thought that goes into what species of fish is being harvested and then how those populations are being managed. There is movement towards that direction. Again, a lot of it is based on supply and demand. As some of those products are produced in more natural means, the cost does change, and there's got to be a willingness amongst consumers to switch to those products. Earlier this year, in our kitchens and in our market grill restaurants, we have already switched to cage-free eggs as kind of a first step in that direction. Anything else?
I don't know to what extent you would know some of the prices this far down the line, but when it comes to specifically shrimp, I go to HyVee and buy shrimp. And so I'm curious, as we've had the problems with the dead zone down in the Gulf and some of those other issues that we have to figure out how to deal with on this end too. We are part of that issue. What do you see happening with prices? Are you seeing some challenges, do you think, corporate-wise, as far as being able to get some of those products from the Gulf?
We do presently source Gulf shrimp. Our shrimp that we have in our seafood departments is responsibly harvested, so whether it comes from the Gulf or other places in the world, there certainly may be cheaper shrimp out there, but as a company we felt it was more important to also ensure the long-term availability of that shrimp, and that's why we moved towards responsible choice with our shrimp. So like I said, there may be cheaper alternatives out there, but I think a lot of our consumers have told us that they want to be able to be comfortable purchasing a shrimp product that they know they'll be able to purchase for years to come. Anybody else?
Thanks again for coming tonight. If you guys want to applause for Clete.